So good morning, everyone. So masters, today we will be talking about age. Now, age is nothing new, nothing fancy. So why should we talk about age? We will see, because one of the question which I was observing in more than a year and a half, I was getting a lot of, sometime as an information or message or news about youth having a lot of issues in life, which usually you expect towards the late part of your life, in 60s or 70s, whether it is any critical illness, whether it is as simple as depression. Why so common? Why so frequently we hear, or people go through that? And then when we talk about meditation, whether you combine it with yoga, whether you combine it with pranayama or just meditation, general impression is that this comes again towards retirement, and why we do when we are so young. I'm healthy, I'm fit. So let's look at the topic age, because if you look at the age group 18 to 30, you see that there is a lot of issues coming around. And one of the key topic when we come to age is we talk about biological age, which is our usual thing. When anybody asks us or we are talking about age, we talk about biological age. But then there is also a genetic age. And this genetic age is independent of your biological age. When calendar year you were born, that's history, or that's a fact. It will give you your biological age, whatever number of years, days, months you want to calculate. But your genetic age is independent of that. Now, what is the difference? Where it is coming from? What are the major factors? So genetic age primarily is reflected by your genes, your body structure, your epigenetic data. Now, there are factors within DNA that we'll talk about, and then it also influenced by your BMI or body mass index, but based on the weight, height, and all that, when you calculate, you're talking about 2 to 3 years plus or 2 to 3 years minus of your biological age. So that's why that one is a little less critical. So we will not worry about it today. Mainly, we are talking about your DNA, chromosome, epigenetic, that element. Because what happens on a cellular level is critical. When anything goes wrong, it influences the cells in the neighborhood. That means in any particular part of your body, when you have certain issue, it then start influencing or impacting the cells, tissues, organs, nearby zone. Or like we have seen in when we talk about nadis or meridians in Chinese concept, they may be related to distant organs or part of the body also. So why we are talking about this? Because it is being scientifically proven now that biological aging is one thing, but when we talk about genetic aging, the factors that are impacting your genes, your chromosome, can slow down your aging. That means you stay young. And this factor could be as much as 0.4 biological years for each chronological year in age. So suppose you are 10 years old, but you may be just 4 years of biological age with a factor of 0.4. That means you are younger than your age. On the other side, based on the lifestyle, based on your thoughts, because referring to Ayurveda, 6 factors for any illness, disease, or our health condition in general. First is the thought, then come lifestyle. And like we just saw, some factors that will or may impact biologically in terms of DNA, chromosome, and all that. It can go against you, the negative factors, and impact you 2.5 times your biological age. But that's in reverse order. That means you will be older. So imagine, in today's world, so common, even young students, even in high school, they are depressed or they are stressed out, whether it is exam, whether it is career, whether it is what's going in the family relationship, has become so much. And so frequently you will hear them having some excuse that, oh, I cannot do this now because, I have anxiety issue, or I have some, stuff going on at home, or my own relationship. So it can negatively impact as much as 2.5. That means if your age is only 20 years, that means your biological age is 20 years. Based on the research, this factor 2.5, and of course, this is maximum. We are not saying everybody will be in this range. You may be 1, 1.5, 2, or 2.5, but as much as. So worst case scenario, if you take it, though biologically you are 20 years, but your genetic age could be 50 years already because of what's going on in your life. Because nobody's teaching that how to manage and why should we manage our thoughts. If you are 30 years old, your biological age is 30 years. With a factor 2.5, it becomes 75 years. That means you may be just 30, but your genetic age could be 75. So imagine a usual conventional thought we all had that, oh, these type of issues we used to see in 60 or 70 years of age, and what we see now in youth, this is the reason. So imagine when people think, oh, I'm in university or I'm so young, and that's why we say 18 to 30 years, such a critical age group. People think nothing can go wrong with me. I'm healthy. I go to gym every day. I do my, whatever your diet plan is or exercise regime, and you're following it, not abusing your body or any kind in terms of, sleeping or waking up or working hours. Reasonably, you may feel that I'm doing everything right, but you may never know based on thoughts. Because thoughts is number one. Then comes your hours, what you eat and how and frequently and what not. But if you don't work on our thoughts, we fall under this category 18 to 30. Now, another factor why it is so important, especially in my thoughts, in my logical thinking, this is very critical because this is the time when usually young couple will think of going the family way. So you get married, doesn't matter, sometime you may get married late, but 18 to 30 is the range when a lot of things happening in your life, from university to early career decision, joining the career, doing some courses, and then the early years in the career when you just want to prove yourself, and do more and more. 30 years means anything typical. 25 to 30 is the time. People want to get married, have kids. So whatever is going on in your head, like we talk about thoughts. So based on your thoughts, based on your thinking pattern, you are influencing the life of your child as well. Why? Because from mother and father, that's where the child is born, means the information means genetics. Everything is developed. And we know everything, whether it's a single cell or the whole body, everything is energy, where they are getting it from, of course, the parents. So your thoughts, your lifestyle is influencing your child as well. And by the time you are 30, if like many of us are in a stressful situation, and suppose your genetical age is 70 already, so you may think I am 30, I'm still okay, having kids and whatnot, but what you are passing on to your child may be a totally different kind of energy or the body mechanism. So what are the factors that typically negatively impact your age? High stress. Stress can come from any direction. Whether it's neighbor, whether within the family, family means your parents, siblings and all, whether it is extended family, right? Whether it is your workplace, whether it is your, educational institute, wherever you are. As simple as, driving on the street and you are interacting with other driver, knowingly, unknowingly. Anything and everything can induce stress. Of course, food is one thing. Then the feeling of lack of love. 0 to 7 years of age is so critical for anybody's life, because this is the time you are learning from others. You are absorbing. You have no logical mind. Everything is subconscious. You are building your database. And if at that time, for whatever reason, you felt lack of love, then that could be your main concept, that you are deciding everything based on that. If there is a lack of purpose, you don't see a good family around you or good environment, your whole thought process can shift towards one side. If there is not a good relationship within the family, if you see a lot of fights happening, or if you see a lot of disconnection within the family or workplace, or whatever, we kind of build our personality around these, what we call psychosocial stress. We are the recipient. The child 0 to 7 years of age cannot make a decision, I should take this or I should leave this. But these are the factors which affect, and these are the factors which takes you from your biological age to as much as, like we said, 2.5 range. So there are positive factors also, like we talked about with the factor of 0.4, which is, suppose you are experiencing true love within the family, around you, you are full of gratitude because people around you are giving you that vibes, that energy, that concept. You are learning from parents and whatnot, whether grandparents are living or not, or whether neighbors. But if you're in a positive environment, you will be taking all the positivity. You will have a positive outlook towards life. You will be with a feeling of oneness, not separation. And when you are with the feeling of oneness, means you are connected better to the universe. So that's why we say the life should not be high tech, but high touch. We are losing this human touch. We are losing the touch with Panchabhuta, the nature, Mother Earth, water, sky, fire, and all those elements that was so normal, that we will be in touch with these Panchabhutas out of which we are made up of. We are losing that. So rather than high tech, we want high touch. People don't even write anymore, just even messages, either text or even words, that just emojis, which is just expressing through some symbols. And we think we have so many friends, my network is so big, but really the one-to-one, the in-person communication is going down. It's kind of a pandemic, that you may have everything, yet you are not at peace. All the materialistic world needs you may have, yet you are not at peace. So the question comes, where is the joy, the gratitude, the pleasure, the happiness from our life? Why is it disappearing? First of all, it's a journey, it's not a destination. So we should not feel that, okay, I have reached the happiness, whatever level or thing, and we say, okay, done. No, it is everyday business. So what should we do to recharge our battery every day, to have that positive energy every day? Because just reaching once is not like a destination. It's a journey. So one thing you may have all observed, that the day you are at peace from within, doesn't matter what difficulty life throws at you, you take it as an opportunity. That means you are at peace, you are calm, then you can handle any issue or problem that comes to you without, jumping around all over the place. Why? Because you are still from within. So the question comes, how can we remain still? Because when you are not, you may have already observed that when we are not at peace within, some anxiety or some issue going on, we are upset, then any small thing can really upset or disturb your peace further. That means you will be really getting higher anxiety, higher stress, depression, or all those kind of things, just because you are not settled within. So there is always a choice. There is always joy of giving. There is always joy of receiving, gratitude. All these things positively impact your age. That means even if you are at age 50, you may look like 40 or just 30. And that's why sometimes, you meet certain people and you say, wow, you don't look that old. So they look less than their age. But most of us, we look stressed out, older than the age. So if there is so much difference between biological and genetic age, what is this genetic age? What is the main factor? So main factor here is telomere, and telomere is the end part of your chromosome. It's the tip of your chromosome, which is built with telomerase enzyme. That means this is the enzyme which is making telomere. This enzyme is responsible for the length of your telomere. Every time a cell divides, the telomere gets divided into half. So both the cell gets half and half. Now, when you get half and half, it clearly shows the length is reducing. So there is a limit how many times a cell can divide. Optimally, if we look theoretically, that age is 120 years. That means if everything is perfect, optimum, we should all live 120 years, but we know we don't. So this enzyme is responsible for the health of telomere, and telomere is the factor which decides our age. So this is in your DNA because it is in every chromosome. And what happens when you have shorter telomeres? Your immune system may be weaker. And we all know how critical your immune system is. When it is shorter, you may have very high inflammation. And inflammation is one of the fundamental factors for any disease or illness. That means if there is a disease, illness, there is inflammation. Body is fighting. So you see, if you have shorter telomere, it's not that, okay, I can still handle and all. Yeah, you may, but with the side effect or with some issues in life. So that's why it is so important. Now, without getting too much into science, our DNA, which is inside a cell, and cell is the smallest unit as we talk about our body is made up of. A lot of cells make tissues makes organ and then system and all that. So a cell is so small you cannot see with your naked eyes. Inside the cell is a nucleus. So diameter is 10 microns. You cannot see. And within this, you have this DNA, which is 5 feet long. So imagine something that is 5 feet long being compressed into nucleus, which has a lot of other things than just DNA, but yet it fits. So imagine the nature, how beautifully it has designed this compressed structure. Now, this DNA, which is twisted, wrapped, folded, it has chromosome, or they are part of that chromosome. So end of the chromosome is telomere, what you see the tip. And this is what gets divided. So your length of telomeres will give you the status of your health. So there was an experiment conducted in 2017, California, for 60 days that they were asked to do meditation. Any kind, not that, okay, if you do only this specific thing, then you do or not. But if you really do, and you can sorry, change your inner state, that means not just sitting and thinking, you have to be with some faith and trust. Like we always say, do something. If you believe in it, it will do wonders. Doesn't matter how good the thing is. If you sit with no conviction, no faith in it, then how can it give any positive results? So 60 days, and they found that roughly 74% people had increase in telomere. Of course, how much increase is another topic, but at least there was an increase. So imagine, every day, every week, cells are dividing, your length is going down. But with meditation, if you can influence, that means you can reduce the pace of reduction. Even better, if you can increase the length of telomeres, you are influencing your lifespan. And we are not just talking increase the lifespan, achievement, staying healthy and increasing your lifespan. So many testimonials you will see that people fixing the genetical disorder with meditation, just by thoughts alone, bringing elevated emotion, bringing that positive energy in you, bringing true love, gratitude, all those things improves your health. It can reverse any situation that you may have. Of course, it will take time. It's not like a pill you take and tomorrow I'm fine. However, it has the power. But the power main factor is if you have the faith and trust in the process or not. So, masters, this was about today's topic. You see how simply youth can understand that I don't need to wait when I develop some problem and then look into meditation or, these life-changing tools that we all have. Why not I work, manage my thought? That's all you are doing. Meditation is helping you stay away from trouble. Why? Because it will keep your body in optimum situation, optimum condition. Otherwise, people feel I am just 20, I am 30, but that's just biological, doesn't matter much. What matters is your genetical age. And we don't know what that is unless you go get it tested, which is not easy. But the easy part is follow meditation, cleanse your thoughts, do your, even if you do 15 minutes a day regime of whatever you want to do. You may start with just stretching, yoga, or pranayam, or meditation, combination of three, or just meditation is up to you. But this is the reason why really it makes sense that you should learn and follow it sooner than later. So, masters, this was today's topic.